Tiger versus Bones, the ultimate 80s guitar showdown. Hey guys, welcome back to the Bald Shredder channel. And yeah, guess what we're doing today? We're putting the Firefly Tiger up against the Firefly Bone Shredder head to head, and we're gonna see which one comes out on top. Now, before anybody asks, because this is always an issue with Firefly guitars, and the issue is that they sell out so fast that by the time you see the video, it's all sold out and I can't even buy one. Well, good news guys, the yellow Tiger, it is not currently sold out. In fact, they've got it in stock right now on the Guitars Garden website. Yes, you can buy it. These are selling right now for $279. I'm gonna have that link down in the video description if you wanna grab one of these before they sell out again. Now, if you were looking to get one of the Bone Shredders, well, that's not such good news. Yeah, this one is currently sold out again. I mean, guys, it was on the website, it was in stock, then it was sold out. And then it was back on the website, and then it was sold out. And then it was back on the website for like several weeks. It was there for quite a while, and then of course, eventually sold out again. So yeah, currently sold out, but I'm sure it will be back on the website pretty soon. Now guys, I thought this would be a fun video to do, not only because I have both of these guitars, and they're both George Lynch guitars, basically. It's the fact that I'm also a huge George Lynch and Dokken fan. George was always like my favorite, my biggest influence, my biggest inspiration. So yeah, I love all the Lynch stuff, including the Lynch guitars. So I want to talk about like how they're the same, how they're different, and then ultimately, if I had to choose one of the two, which one would it be? And there are a few major differences other than, you know, the obvious that they don't look the same. But then they also have a lot of things in common. Okay, so let's start off by naming the things that they have in common. They're both 22 fret bolt-on neck electric guitars. They've both got the exact same Floyd Rose branded bridge. No, it's not a super fancy Floyd Rose. It's like the low-end model. It's made in Korea, but guys, on both of these guitars, fully functional, no problems, no issues. They both have the same pickup. This is a custom high output Alnico 5 humbucker in the bridge position. And being that they're the same pickup, they both have about the same amount of output, which is like 14 point something K. When you have the full humbucker engaged, they also both have the push-pull pot so that you can split the humbucker. What about the necks? Well, they both have roasted maple necks. And on those necks, they both have medium jumbo stainless steel frets with the rounded ball ends, and both really good fretwork. And I believe they even have the same tuners, the sort of little bean-shaped style tuners, one being like regular and then the other one being reversed because it's a reversed headstock after all. Now guys, before I start going into like the differences and what does this have that this one doesn't have and what is this that this one isn't and so forth, I'm gonna let you guys hear me play both of these guitars. Back when I did the original videos for each of these guitars, I wrote and recorded a little mini Lynch Dokken-ish jam for each one. So I'm gonna let you guys hear those again. First the Tiger, then the Bones, and then we'll talk some more. Check it out. Okay, so how about some differences on these guitars? Well, first of all, this has a mahogany body, whereas this has an ash body. And you can see on this one, it's got the roasted maple fretboard, which is the same as the neck. And then on this one, it's got a rosewood fretboard, so it's a darker color. And some of the differences are just like purely cosmetic. Like on the Tiger, the pickup has a pickup ring, but on the Bones, no pickup ring, direct mounted. And another interesting thing, guys, is I believe both of these bridges are top mounted, as far as like where is the bridge in relation to the body, and there's definitely no route under the bridge on the Tiger. But when you look at the Bone Shredder, it kind of looks like it's recessed because it's got the route into the wood, like the shape of the bridge underneath the bridge. I can see it there. But when you look at the height of the bridge in relation to the body, it's not really down into that recess, where a lot of times when you see the Floyds that are recessed, it's usually a little bit lower, and the top of the bridge is kind of like flush with the body. This one's sticking up a little bit more, so I don't know if you would really consider that to be recessed. Now, one of the major differences, although maybe for some of you guys like this is a minor difference and it makes no difference at all, but it's the scale length. The scale length on the Tiger is like a regular Strat or Super Strat scale length, 25.5 inches. But on the Bone Shredder, the scale length is 24.75 inches. But why is that? Why would this one have the shorter scale length? I did try to Google to see, like, did George's original Bones guitar, did that have a scale length of 24.75? There wasn't a whole lot of information, but what I did find, it said, according to Google, that no, it was 25.5 inch scale length. So why is this one shorter? I don't know. Now, another difference, of course, is the headstock. This one having the reverse headstock, and because this headstock is sort of a little bit like tilted back or leaning back, there's no need for a retainer bar or any string trees. But then when you look at the Tiger, in addition to not being reversed, it's also painted to match the graphic, but because the headstock is not leaning back, we do have the retainer bar. Another pretty major difference is that the neck profiles are not exactly the same. The neck on the Bone Shredder appears to be a little bit thinner and a little bit more narrow, like on the back. So it's maybe a little bit more comfortable in my hand compared to this one. It's not like a massive difference, but I can see it just by looking. This one is definitely thinner than this one. All right, how about the weight? Is there a weight difference? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab my little digital scale here and my glasses so I can see what I'm doing. I'm gonna weigh them both like right on camera and we will see like what the difference is. So let's turn this on. Here we go. I'm gonna have to stand up for this, guys. Here we go. What is the weight on the Tiger? It is almost exactly 7 pounds on the Tiger. All right, let's get the Bone Shredder over here. See what we got on the weight on this one. This one also doesn't feel very heavy at all, so I'm guessing it might be about the same or even lighter. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, this one's definitely a little bit lighter. This one is just a little bit under 7 pounds. All right, another difference is the neck to body joint, the connection. You see here we've just got the 4 bolts, there's no plate, and very rounded off here, so to give you more comfort on that for those upper frets. But when you look at the Tiger, it does have the plate, the full rectangular size plate. The corner is not rounded off, but there is a little bit of an angle. So they did kind of shave off some of the wood this way, but it would have been nicer if they had, taken off the corner like they did on the Bone Shredder. Now, I did say that yes, they do both have the exact same made in Korea Floyd Rose branded bridge, and that is true. But for some reason, I guess maybe the springs are different. I don't know. On the Tiger, when I'm grabbing that whammy and pulling on the whammy or whatever, it's a little bit more easy or smooth, I guess you could say. The springs on this one just feel a little bit like tighter and stiffer. Now, of course, that's a very easy mod or fix. If I wanted to, I could just get some new springs and put them on the Bone Shredder, no problem. Now, if you guys remember when I did the first video, like one of the only negative things that I even had to say about this guitar was the amount of space right here between the neck and this bottom horn. It is like pretty small. And when I was playing it, and still when I play it now, I get like the back of my hand bumping into this little knob right here. I've even thought about like getting a little saw or something, or sanding, whatever, and just taking that little knob off to just kind of increase that clearance. I haven't done it yet, but I might still do it. And obviously I don't have that issue with the Tiger or any like Strat shaped guitar, because that clearance is a lot, it's more, it's bigger. So my hand's not bumping into anything. But I want to measure those. I want to see exactly how much of a difference is it on the Tiger compared to the Bones. So I've got my little digital thingamabobber here, and I'm gonna measure. So let's turn it on. Let's see. On, mark it as 0, and let's see if I can measure that distance here. That clearance appears to be 69.6 millimeters. I think that's millimeters. All right, let's check it on the bone shredder. I'm sure it's gonna be less than that, probably quite a bit less than that. Remember, 69.6. 69.6. And this one, at the knob, yeah, 44.2. So a lot less clearance down there. What if I were to shave away that little knob? Would it get up to 69.6? I kind of doubt it, but let's check. So all the way up to there. Yeah, it's still not even the same. 56.3. Now guys, I want to make something clear. I love both of these guitars. For a guy that grew up in the 80s, watching MTV and seeing George Lynch playing, Tiger stripe guitars, and seeing him playing his Bone guitar, and seeing him in concert in the 80s playing the Bone guitar and the Tiger guitar, finally owning a couple of guitars that look like those, it's pretty much a dream come true for me. And so it's not the easiest thing in the world to pick like which one I like the best. It's kind of like asking somebody like, well, who's your favorite child? Because you can't really pick one, right guys? Okay, but I did say I was gonna pick, and if I absolutely had to pick, I guess it's gonna be the Tiger. And I think it comes down to a couple of things. First of all, it's the comfort of the body shape. You've got this edge down here that's completely smooth, right? So it's on my leg, it's very comfortable. And when my chest is pushing against this side, it's smooth and comfortable. That's not the case on the Bones guitar. It's very bumpy. Even that bottom part, when it's sitting on my leg, I can feel the ridges and the bumps. And when I'm leaning into it and playing, again, I can feel all those ridges and bumps. I mean, it's not anything that would stop me from playing it, but again, if I had to pick, this one's more comfortable. And then the other thing, which is probably even the bigger issue, probably the deciding factor, is yes, it's that clearance right here from the upper frets and down to that horn. It's just way more comfortable not having to, worry about moving my hand in a weird position and not bumping into that knob. And it's kind of weird because if it didn't have those two issues, I might have chosen the Bone Shredder simply because it's got a thinner neck and, for me, a better neck profile. But since there's not a huge difference between the necks, it's just a small difference, this one's still very comfortable, very, very shreddable. And because it's like that and those other two issues, yeah, I end up picking the Tiger. All right, guys, so now you know my choice. Tiger wins. But, what about you guys? Which one do you think you would choose? Even if you don't have these guitars, thinking about the things that I talked about, the issues, the similarities, the differences and stuff, which one do you think that you would enjoy playing better? And especially for those of you that are out there, if you happen to have both of these guitars, which I know a lot of you guys do, which one do you like better, the Tiger or the Bone Shredder? Be sure to let me know down in the comments. And remember guys, you can still currently get this one on the Firefly website, the Guitars Garden website, and I will have that link down in the video description. As usual, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time!